Hello again, witchy people. YouTube Pagan Challenge 2019. Sorry, I've got to fit the giggles because this is like the fourth time I've tried to record this. Yes, YouTube Pagan Challenge 2019, letter M. And I'm choosing a slightly unusual one. I'm choosing the Mistletoe Bough. Now, it's a poem. And it's a poem written by Thomas Haynes Bailey. Thomas Haynes Bailey in 1828, I think. And it tells the story of a bride, and you may all know that it's also known as the Mistletoe Bride, who on her wedding day decides to play a game of hide and seek, hides away in a chest, and the chest closes on her and she suffocates, and she's not found until many years later. Why am I choosing this, you may ask? It's because it's said that Bramshill House, which is in Hampshire, not far from where I live actually, is said to be the setting for this poem. Now, it might not be. I think there's another house in Aylesbury, Marwell Hall, that also lays claim to saying that the poem is theirs as well. Is that their house is the setting for it. So it is a rather sad poem, a rather sad tale. But no one really knows if it really happened or whether it's a myth, you know, some kind of legend. But either way, it has kind of slipped into becoming part of urban legend. And you hear this story all over the world. So I do have a copy of the Mistletoe Bough poem here. So I may just have to put on my glasses and read it to you. And I hope my glasses don't steam up with the heat because it's so hot. Okay, the Mistletoe Bough, and like I said, this is by Thomas Haynes Bailey, and he wrote it in 1828. The mistletoe hung in the castle hall, the holly branch shone in the old oak wall. The baron's retainers were blithe and gay, keeping the Christmas holiday. The baron beheld with a father's pride his beautiful child, Lord Lovell's bride, and she with her bright eyes seemed to be the star of that goodly company. Oh, the mistletoe bough, oh, the mistletoe bough. I'm weary of dancing now, she cried. Here, tarry a moment, I'll hide, and Lovell be sure, Lovell, not lover, and Lovell be sure you're the first to trace the clue to my secret hiding place. Away she ran, and her friends began each tower to search and each nook to scan. And young Lovell cried, Oh, where do you hide? I'm lonesome without you, my own fair bride. Oh, the mistletoe bough, oh, the mistletoe bough. They sought her that night, they sought her next day. They sought her in vain when a week passed away. In the highest, the lowest, the loneliest spot, young Lovell sought wildly, but found her not. The years passed by, and their brief at last was told as a sorrowful tale long past. When Lovell appeared, all the children cried, See, the old man weeps for his fairy bride. Oh, the mistletoe bough, the mistletoe bough. At length an old chest that had long laid hid was found in the castle. They raised the lid. A skeleton form lay mouldering there, in the bridal wreath of that lady fair. How sad the day when in sportive jest she hid from her lord in the old oak chest. It closed with a spring and a dreadful doom as the bride lay clasped in a living tomb. Oh, mistletoe bough, oh, the mistletoe bough. Now, what's interesting is that at Bramshill there is a chest, and it's a beautiful carved old chest, and it's called the bride's chest. And this is supposed to be the centre of the story of the Mistletoe Bough, or the Mistletoe Bride as it's also known. There are several different versions of the story, but most commonly they run along, you know, what Bailey's poem says, and they have a rough outline of the story here. So it says, on Christmas Eve, the family was celebrating the wedding of the daughter of the house, and this is Bramshill House. The place was decorated with holly, and the bride had a sprig of mistletoe, and by all accounts, the beautiful young bride proposed a game of hide and seek to her husband, and he happily agreed. She ran away to hide and was not seen alive again, although the whole household hunted for her with increasing anxiety. Finally, the family was forced to concede that she could not be found, and time passed. And reports of So the unfortunate bride's family left the house and set up home in France. Years later, they decided to return to Bramshill, and as it was being made ready for their return is when the chest was found by a servant. There is a room in the, there is a room in Bramshill House called the Fleur de Lion room, and it's this room where the Mistletoe Bride is supposed to haunt. She is the White Lady of Bramshill, and she haunts the Fleur de Lion room, still clutching her mistletoe bough that she was also found with. Her body was found with clutching this mistletoe bough. So there we go. YouTube Pagan Challenge 2019, letter M, the Mistletoe Bough, also known as the Mistletoe Bride. Hope you enjoyed that little story. I love it. It's one of my favourite stories. I think it was Kate Moss wrote a whole book of short stories, including one called The Mistletoe Bride. So there you go. Thank you for watching. I will be back very soon. Bye for now, witchy people.